Misfits has dropped their updated pound-for-pound boxing list, and we have to go over it, see where we agree, where we don't, the breakdown. Let's go. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look. Your updated pound-for-pound crossover boxing list. All right, now again, I can't remember what Mams does for the rankings. We have 1 KSI Jake Paul. You knew they had to put KSI's name first there. They couldn't have Jake KSI, which I understand. You know, it is what it is. 3 is Dean the Great. 4 Slim. 5 Anthony Taylor. 6 Jarvis. Front of Tempo Arts at number 7. Luis Alcaraz Pineda at number 8. Ashley Raksu at number 9. And Alex Wasabi at 10. Interesting. So there's a couple things that I have issue with here, and it's not anybody's fault, but Jarvis has 1 fight in Misfits. Granted, he beat Ed Matthews. Or not Ed Matthews. He beat, what's the guy's name? Tom Zanetti. So that was a big win. Obviously beat B-Dave. Big win. Lost to Gibb. He only has the 1 loss that Gibb is not on this list because he hasn't fought in Misfits. Ashley at number 9 is another one because, you know, we have the draw with OJ Rose, but he does have the win versus King Kenny. Got the win over Halal Ham. I think a lot of people put him at number 9 because Ashley is dangerous, right? But let's go through the whole thing. Alex Wasabi at number 10. This one is interesting because Alex has a tag team match on Misfits, but no one-on-ones. And in the tag team, he did drop Luis Pineda, who's at number 8, which, by the way, him and Anthony being on this list, I don't even... What the fuck are we doing? But I guess you have to put them on there because they keep fighting. But then again, if we're putting people that aren't fighting on Misfits on this list because Jake is on this list, why is Gibb not on this list? I don't understand how Jake can be on the list, but Gibb can't be. And if Gibb is on the list, he beat up Jarvis, so he'd have to be top 5 or at least at number 6. I'm kind of scratching my head because I don't want to be that guy that just, oh, you're a hater, da da da. But I'm just trying to figure out what the quantifiers are. Why is Jake here but Gibbs not? Why is Luis Pineda at number 8, Ashley at number 9, but OJ Rose is not on the list? These two aren't content creators. OJ just tied Ashley Raksu. Alex is at number 10, but knocks down Luis Pineda in their interactions and was winning a lot of those exchanges. Tempo Arts has done nothing but win on Misfits, but he's at 7. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have a problem with the top 5 other than Anthony Taylor just got an influencer. It's like, okay, but he beats everyone, you know, so. But I mean, I guess I understand, you know, KSI and Jake being at 1, but by the way, I didn't mention this and I just saw it. Where is Le'Veon Bell? Beats up Adrian Peterson, obviously loses to Uriah Hall, but not in a way that took any shine off of him. Beats JMX in the main event. And honestly, I think that Le'Veon beats Logan. Tempo at 7. Okay. You know, he's a belt holder, so I get it. Jarvis is a belt holder. Get that. And Jarvis is good, by the way. Jarvis is talented. Pineda is a bit of a interesting one. You have guys like King Kenny, who I think is better than when he fought Ashley. I feel like he would deserve some consideration. Alex, I've told you guys, I think he's very, very talented. Hasn't ever lost as an official, you know, fighter. And I forgot what Mams puts into the play here, but if we're talking about pound for pound, are we just talking about boxing skill? Is that what it is? Is that what we're talking about? And I don't even mind if we're talking just skills. Then why isn't Idris there? You know what I mean? Like, again, this is why I don't like the whole pound for pound thing. If we're talking about skills, where is Idris Virgo? Where's Tommy Fury? If that's the case, you know? And again, I don't want those people on this list, but we're putting Anthony Taylor on the list. We're putting Luis Pineda on the list. Again, if you take those 2 off and we're just talking, you know, pound for pound influencer boxers. No offense to Anthony Taylor. He's my guy. I like him. Anthony Taylor and Luis Pineda, I don't know that they're draws. I know that they got a big pop, or at least Pineda does when he's the mystery opponent, but I don't think if you put Pineda up against somebody that's not KSI, he's drawn. So if that's the case, Idris is main evented. Idris main evented a Misfits card. He's nowhere on this list. And trust me, I'm not a guy that's like sitting out here banging the hammer for Idris Virgo. I'm just saying. Salt Poppy, yeah, that's another guy. Where is Salt Poppy on this list? Apparently he's gone now because of the 2 losses, and I don't hate it, but I just don't. I keep looking at Pineda. Why is Pineda? He beat B-Dave and Ed Matthews with no training. I know he's a you know, meme favorite, but that's just not it. OJ Rose should probably be on this list. Again, then you get into the, oh, do they draw? What do they do numbers-wise? Pay-per-view, charisma, all that, and then you can make an argument for damn near everybody at that point, right? You can make an argument for Deji at that point because Deji draws more than everybody outside of the top 2. Maybe Dean. Okay, let's do this. We rearrange it. Now, again, it's Misfits boxing. Let's make sure we know that this is Misfits boxing. If that's the case, then Jake doesn't belong on this list. If we're just gonna say it's Misfits boxing pound for pound, if I'm gonna say my pound for pound, that's different. But if we're saying Misfits boxing, Jake's gone, Gib is not allowed. In my opinion, Pineda's gone. We go KSI, Dean, Slim. Number 4 is probably, I'd say Poppy, W.A.D.E. I'm taking Anthony Taylor off the list as well. I'm taking Luis Pineda and Anthony Taylor off the list. But Anthony Taylor's been Misfits. You know, he's done a bunch of Misfits. I can sit with Jarvis at number 6, Raksu at 7, Kenny at 8, Wasabi at 9, Veggie at 10. That's what I'll say. Just spur of the moment, on the fly, I'll put that. I would have OJ above Ashley. Yeah, I guess, but you also have to look at the names too. Like, yes, OJ beat people that were tough. Kimbo Slice Jr., tough. Callum Izzard, tough. But Ashley beat bigger names and people that we would consider to be big names in the scene. King Kenny, I guess Halal Ham, you know. So I'm going to put that there. Let's take a look now. I like the reason you're surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised that Misfits put Wasabi on the list. But I think that Alex does belong on the list. He's main evented and beat Deji. Main evented and beat iDubbbz. Won the tag team. Like he has 2 main events under his belt. You can't put OJ over Wasabi. You can't. You can't. You be unmotivated, Deji. I can't listen. You guys can say everything you want about the parameters of what happened during that fight. Alex has said, let's run it back. But to be honest, how motivated is Deji at all times? You want to talk about unmotivated Deji? Leon told me that Deji's not in the gym when he doesn't have King. You know what I'm saying? So that's not on Alex for coming in and doing his job. I don't care about the qualifiers around what he did. He main evented and won in Deji's backyard. Y'all keep sleeping on Alex's boxing ability. That man's cold. But now let's take a look at the women's pound for pound list and let's see, because I don't think they got the men's right at all. There's so many inconsistencies. You could call it the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But let's take a look at the women's pound for pound list and see how they got on with that. The women's pound for pound list. I'm gonna start off by being like, everybody from here. Wait, why is Michelle Kare on this list? Is she fighting on Misfits? Or did they just not have enough girls to make a top 10 list? Listen, I'm not going to disrespect. Michelle Kare is nasty with it in the ring. I don't understand the parameters that we're going with. But listen, if I don't mind her being on a pound for pound women's list at all, because she's dope. Michelle Kare is dope. She was on Creator Clash 2. And Barbie hasn't fought on Misfits yet. Let's just go through it. Michelle Kare definitely needs to be above Alexia Grace. Definitely needs to be above Tennessee. Definitely needs to be above Paige. Her and Alina, again, size difference, but I think Michelle probably needs to be above, skill-wise, at least AJ Bunker. Now, am I tripping? Who is Nikki Haru? I know, is she fought on Misfits? All right, let's see if I can find some of her boxing here.
One of the real originals of the Influencer Fight League here since the very beginning. For all the trash talk that came with these two.
Okay. That told me nothing. So why in God's name is she sitting at number 4 on this list? What are we doing? Now, again, I guess the point of this is they have to be active fighters, right? You have to be an active fighter to be on this list, because I'm going to be honest, if we were doing pound for pound, Faith would be probably in the top 5. Astrid's gone. I know she's gone from Misfits, but she's been just see ya, shelf. Forget her, right? This is clearly I don't know, just a very opinionated list based on parameters that we don't even know. The bar to put people on here, I don't even know the drawing power of any of this stuff, right? All right, so if I was to do it, I'm fine with Julie at number 1. I'm fine with Elle at number 2. I'm fine with Barbie at 3. Either Faith at 4, Michelle at 5, Alina at 6. I don't know either of these two. I watched the fight. I can't remember what happened. Maybe AJ at 7? Just because she had a belt for a bit? I don't know. Tennessee at 8, Paige at 9, Alexia at 10? Is Alexia? I'm forgetting somebody. Give me Daniela, you know? She showed herself very well, sorta, in her fight. Matter of fact, she might go at 7. Or no, at 8. Then Paige at 9 and Tennessee at 10. I don't know, bro. Like, this list is a rough look. Because there's just no real parameters for what they're doing here, right? And it's easy, I know, to complain about everything and sit back and armchair quarterback, but I just want to know, when we do these pound for pound things, what are we basing it on? The promotion putting out a pound for pound list and including some people that aren't in the promotion and others that are, I don't know what to do with. Gib was robbed of being on this list for sure. And again, on the women's side, it's a complete shit show on that side. I have no idea what's happened. I don't even know who half the people are. I don't even know how they came to the decision of putting people in the top 10. This got to be better consolidated. The big shocker here is Luis Pineda at number 8. But the big L of this whole thing is Just because Gibb is not fighting on the promotion, you don't include which is crazy to me. The man has one loss to the guy that's sitting at number 1A, 1B, however you want to look at Jake Paul. And because they don't like Gibb, he's not on the list. That's a little goofy. Because Gibbs retired? Gibbs retired as far as you could throw that word. He's retired because he's not getting what he wants from Misfits. By that logic, Jake shouldn't be on the list because he's not in the promotion. He has nothing to do with this. Bryce Hall should be on this list. Why? We haven't even talked about Bryce Hall. Gibb would fight tomorrow if the number was correct and they gave him sling. But that's my thoughts on this list. It's a little bit discombobulated. It's not something to be taken super seriously. It's just a pound-for-pound ranking from the promotion. So the promotion is going to have their reasons for putting guys that they like in positions they want. Does it really matter at the end of the day? No. Should anybody be picking up the pitchforks and being upset about it? No. It's a fun thing to talk about, but that's where you guys come in. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Is this the right pound-for-pound list, or how would you change it up? Do people like Anthony Taylor and Luis Pineda belong on it? And if so, why don't Idris, Virgo, and other pros? And what about putting Jake on there when he's not a part of the promotion, but Bryce Hall not being on there, Gibb not being on there, and others that haven't participated? And on the women's side, someone just help me figure out what the fuck happened there, because I don't have those answers, but guess we'll find out.